Hi everyone, welcome to Live Blogger. I'm starting this new course where we'll be designing this single page static website using HTML, CSS and some JavaScript. And after designing this, I'll show you how to add this to the home page of your Blogger website so that whenever someone visits your Blogger website, they will see this design as the home page. And I'll also show you how to add this to other platforms as well. So let's take a look at the design. So here we can see, first of all, we have this nav bar over here, and then we have this hero section where on the left side we have some text and on the right we have the image. And then we also have this button which will point us to the contact section of our web page. And then we have these social media icons over here. And then if you scroll down, we can see we have the About Me section, and we have the heading on the left side and some text over here. And then on the next section we have our project section, and we have this heading over here. We have 6 projects over here, and if the visitor clicks on this button, then you can take the visitor to the list of all your projects. And then if you scroll down, we have the testimonials section, and we have the photo of the person and the name of the company. And lastly, we have the contact me section where we have the email ID, the phone number and the address, and then we have the footer of our web page. So this is what we're going to design in this course. Now let's take a look at the layout of our course. This course will be divided into different sections. The first section is the introduction. So you are watching the introduction right now. And next we have writing the markup. So in this section we will write the markup of our single page website using HTML. And the next section we have is styling the page. In this section we will write the styles of our website using CSS. There will probably multiple videos in this section for multiple sections of our homepage. And then the next section is adding JavaScript. So in this section we'll be adding some JavaScript for interactivity in our web page. And I'll also try to add some JavaScript library just to show you how to work with JavaScript libraries in your website. The next section is Go Mobile. In this section we will add media queries to make our website so that users with mobile devices can also have a great experience on our website. Then the next section we have is hosting on Blogger. In this section I will show you how to create a new Blogger website and then add this design to the home page of your Blogger website. And then we have the next section, which is hosting on WordPress. In this section we will see how to make this design the home page of our WordPress website. And lastly we have a section called hosting on Netlify. In this section I will show you how to host your website for free on Netlify, which is also a great service for hosting websites. So that's basically how our course is structured. So I'm using this code editor called Visual Studio Code. It is free to download. You can just Google for it and download it. So I have created a folder called single page website, and I just opened it with Visual Studio Code. So I have this images folder over here where we have all the images. So we have the icons and we have all the other images we need. I'll provide all these resources for you in the description below. So let's get started by creating our files. So we'll create a new file and we'll name it index.html. And in VS Code you can just type exclamation and press tab and you'll get this HTML5 boilerplate code. I have opened up the design over here, and here we can see at the top we have the nav bar, and then we have this hero section. So in our body we will just start by creating a header tag, and in that we'll create a nav tag, and in that we will have the navigation. So here on the left we have the logo, and on the right we have the menu items. So for the logo we'll create a division with the class of logo, and we'll just create an img tag and we'll type images/logo.png. And then for the menu items we'll create an unordered list, so we'll type ul, and in that we'll have a list item, and in that we will have anchor tags. And for now we'll just type hash over here, and let's see what we have in our menu items. So we have about me, my work, testimonials and contact. So let's write that over here, about me, and we'll just duplicate it 3 more times. Next we have my work, and then we have testimonials, and lastly we have contact. Alright, that's it with the nav. Now let's create a division for the hero section. So we'll create a division with the class of hero container, and in that we'll have two divisions, one called left, and we'll have another division with the class of right. And on the left we have this text content. So first of all we have I am a, and then we have two headings over here, and then we have a button, and then we have social media icons over here. So first of all we'll create a paragraph, and we'll give it a class of I am, and in that we'll type I am a, and then we need to have two headings. So we'll type h2 over here, and we'll type developer comma, and we'll just duplicate this, and here we will type designer. Let me just open this in our browser so that we know that everything is working well. So if I right click over here, I have this option called open with live server. That's because I have added an extension in VS Code. So if I go to extensions over here, we have this extension called live server. So just go ahead and install that, and you can just right click over here and click on open with live server. And here is our design as of now. So we know that it's working alright. So let's get back to our markup. Now after the headings we need to have a button, and the button is called contact. We'll just create an anchor tag for that, and we'll style it in such a way that it looks like a button. So we'll give it a class called btn, and in that we'll type contact. And then we need to have the social media icons over here. So we'll create a division with a class of social icons, and in that we'll create img tags, and we'll type images slash, first we have Twitter, and then we have Dribble, and then Instagram. So we'll type Twitter logo.png, and I'll just duplicate this two more times. And the next one we have is Dribble dash logo, and then we have Instagram. Alright, that's it with the social icons. Now let's move to the right division. So on the right we just have an image. So we'll type img, and the image in our folder is called hero image. Alright, that's it with the header. Now let's move on to our first section, which is the about me section. So here we have the about me section. So we have a heading and 3 paragraphs over here. So let's create a section, and in that we'll have an h2, and we'll type about me, and then we'll have 3 paragraphs over here. So in VS Code you have this option to write lorem and type the number of words you want. So I'll just type 50 and press tab, and you get this paragraph over here. So I'll just create 2 more paragraphs. Alright, that's it with the about section. Now let's move on to the next section, which is my work. So let's create a section, and we'll create an h2, and we'll type my work. Now for all these images we'll create a division with the class of work container, and in that we'll place all these images. So we'll create a division with the class of work container, and in that we'll have 6 images. So the first one is project1.png, and I'll just duplicate this 5 more times, and we'll just rename this to project 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need one more, and we'll rename this to 6. Alright, so we have added our images. Now let's add a button for view all projects. So we'll create an anchor tag, and we'll give it a class of button. And since we have white text over here, we'll also create a class called light. So whenever we have light class in our website, we'll make the color of the text of the button white. Alright, here we will type view all projects. So that's it with the my work section. Now let's move on to the next section, which is testimonials. So we'll create a new section over here, and in that we need to have an image for the quotes icon over here, and then we need to have some text, and then on the right we have this photo and the name and the company name. So first of all we'll have the image. We'll type images quote icon, and then we'll have a paragraph. So we will have 15 words, and then we'll create a division for this whole section over here. So we'll create a division with the class of says, and we'll create an img tag, and here we'll type images testimonials1.png, and then we have the name of our commenter, so we'll create an h3 for that, and we'll just write this name over here. And then we also have the company name, so we'll have a paragraph, and we'll give it a class of company name, and we'll just type Louis Vuitton over here. So that's it with the testimonial section. Now let's see what else we've got. So next we have the contact me section. So we'll create a new section, and we'll just give an h2, and we'll type contact me. Now we'll have separate divisions for the email, the phone number, and the address. So we'll create a division with the class of email, and in that we'll have an image, and we'll type mail icon.png, and then we'll create a division with the class of contact text, and we'll just type this email over here. So that's it with the email. Now let's create a division for the phone number, and we'll have an img tag images phone icon.png, and we'll have a division with the class of contact text, and we'll type the phone number over here. Alright, that's it with the phone number, and then we have the address. So we'll create a division with the class of address, and we'll type img images address logo.png, and in contact text we will type the address. So that's it with the address. Now lastly we have this footer, so we'll create a footer element, and in that we will type this website was developed by live blogger, and we'll have the copyright symbol, and we'll type 2020. Alright, that's it with the markup of a single page website. Now let's open this with live server, and we can see our logo, the menu items, the headings, the button, the social media icons, the hero image, and all the sections are displayed over here. Alright, our markup is complete. Now in the next section I will show you how to add styles using CSS. Hi everyone, welcome to the third part of our single page web design series. In this video we will start styling our web page. So in the previous video we had written the markup of our web page. So let me just open this with live server. This is how our website looks right now. So let's go ahead and create our style.css file, and let's style this page. So we'll go over here and click on this icon called new file, and we'll name the file style.css. And before beginning with our style, we need to first link this style.css file to our HTML. So let's go to our HTML file, and here we'll type link and press tab, and in the href we have to type the name of our style file. So we'll just type style.css. Now let's just test whether our styles are working. So we'll just type a universal selector, and we'll just color all the text to red, and we can see that all the text is now red, so our style is working. So let's get started with the styles. The first thing we'll do is we will set all the margin to 0, and we'll also set the box sizing to border box. When you set the box sizing to border box, the height and the width of our element will not be affected by the padding. So it is always a good practice to add box sizing border box to your universal selector. Now the next thing we'll do is we will add our fonts. So we have to first of all select a font. This is a website called fonts.google.com, and here you can find free fonts for your website. So the font that we are going to use in our website is called Roboto Condensed. So we'll just search for Roboto Condensed, and we'll just select two styles from this font. The first one is the regular, and then we'll also select the bold one. Now on the right here we can see we have a tab called embed, so you have to click on that, and you can import your font through HTML or even using CSS. So if you go to import, we can see that we can just add this to our CSS and the font will be imported. Or if you want to add it to your HTML file, then you can just click on this link and then just copy this line of code from here and then just paste it in your HTML in the head section. Alright, we are done with the font. Now if you take a look at the original design, we can see that we have a fixed width for our whole web page. So for that we'll create a container division to hold all these elements. So we'll go to our HTML and we'll create a division with the class of wrapper, and we'll close this division after all our elements. So we'll just close it after the footer. Alright, now we have a wrapper division. Now let's style this wrapper element. So we'll just target the wrapper class and we'll set the width to 1024 pixels and we'll center it horizontally. So we'll just type margin 0 for top and bottom and auto for left and right, and we'll set the font family to Roboto Condensed and sans serif, and then we'll also add a box shadow of 1 pixel, 18 pixels, 18 pixels, negative 5 pixels, RGBA 000 and 0.3. Now let's take a look at the design, and here we can see our wrapper division and we have the box shadow and it is also centered. Now let's go ahead and style all the paragraphs. So just type P and we'll set the font size of the paragraph to 16 pixels and the color of the text to 07050D and the line height to 2, and we'll also set a margin of 24 pixels top and bottom and 0 for left and right. So here we can see our paragraph and we have this line height of 2. Alright, that's it with the paragraph. Now let's go ahead and start styling the navigation. So we'll just give it a comment of header navigation and we'll target our header element and we'll give it a height of 100 viewport height. So it will set the height of our element to 100% of our window size, and we'll also give it a background color of 07050D, and we'll also set the overflow to hidden, and this is how our header looks right now. In this video we'll just style the header section, the about me section and the work section, and in the next video I'll show you how to style the testimonials and contact me and the footer. So now let's style the nav element, but before that let's fix some things in our HTML. In the previous video when we wrote the markup, we can see that we wrote all our anchor tags inside one list item. We have to have all these anchor tags inside separate list items. So let's just correct that. Alright, now let's go to our style.css and we'll target the nav element. And we'll set a background color to FD and we'll set the display to flex. So display is basically a way to arrange elements on a web page. And now if you take a look at our web page, we can see our logo on the left side and our list items on the right side. Now we have to set our logo on the extreme left and the list items on the right. So for that we have to just type justify content to space between. And now we can see our logo is on the left and our menu items are on the right. Now we have to center our elements vertically. So for that we have a property called align items and we'll set it to center. And now we can see our elements are vertically in the center. We'll also give a padding of 24 pixels. Now we want our navigation to stay at the top even if we scroll down. So for that we have to set it to position fixed. So just go over here and type position fixed. And now we can see that it stays at the top even if we scroll down. So let's just set the top position to 0 and we'll also give it a width of 1024 pixels. We'll also give it a z index of 200 so that it stays above every element. And we'll also give it a box shadow of 0 pixels, 2 pixels, 10 pixels, negative 3 pixels, RGBA 0 0 0 and 0.2. So that's it with the header nav element. Now let's style the menu items, that is the unordered list. So we'll type header nav ul and we'll set the display to flex, and we can see all the elements are one next to the other, and we'll also set the list style to none. So now we can see we don't have the bullets of our unordered list. Now let's give a margin to all the list items. So here we'll type header nav ulli and we'll set a margin of 0 for top and bottom, 24 pixels for left and right. Now let's remove the underlines from all the anchor tags, and we'll also set the color. So let's target the anchor tags, and we will set the text decoration to none. So now we don't have the underlines, and we'll also set the color of the text to 07050D and text transform to uppercase, and we'll also set the font weight to bold, and we'll increase the font size to 18 pixels. Alright, that's it with the nav section. Now let's target the hero section. So just give a comment, header hero. So if you go to the HTML, we can see we have this division called hero container. So we'll just target that over here. We'll type header hero container, and first of all we'll set the display to flex, and then we'll set justify content to space between. And now we can see that this section is on the left and the image is on the right. We'll also align items to the center. And since we have this fixed nav bar on the top, we have to add a padding top to this hero container. So let's inspect the element, and let's check the height of our navigation. So if you hover over this element, we can see the height of our nav is 76 pixels. So let's set a top padding of 76. And we'll give it a height of 100% of the parent. Now let's target the left division. So if you go to the HTML, we can see in the hero container we have a division called left, and then we have a division called right. So let's target the left, header hero container dot left, and let me just give it a background color to see how wide it is. Now this is the width of our left element as of now. Now let's set a flex of 1, and now we can see that it takes all the remaining space after the image. So let's remove the background color, and we'll also give it a margin left of 100 pixels. Now let's target the paragraph with a division called I am. So we'll type header hero container left p.i-am, and we'll set the font size to 24 pixels, color of the text to light gray, and the margin to 0. So this is the text. Now let's target the h2. So we'll type header hero container left h2, and we'll set the font size to 64 pixels, and let's set the color to light gray, and we'll also change it to uppercase. Now in the original design we can see the second heading is shifted a little to the right. So we'll target the second heading. So for that we'll type colon nth of type 2. So this will target the second element, and we'll set the margin left to 20 pixels. So now we have this margin over here. Now let's style this button. So we'll just target the btn. So that is the class that we have added to our anchor tag over here. So for the button we will give a background color of ff4d4d, and we'll set the text decoration to none so that we don't have the underline, and we'll set the color of the text to 07050D, and we'll set a margin of 16 pixels top and bottom, and 0 for left and right. And we can see that the margin is not being applied. That is because the anchor tag is an inline element. So we have to change it to an inline block. So we'll just type display and we'll set it to inline block. And now we have the margin. Now let's set a padding of 12 pixels top and bottom, 32 pixels left and right. And we'll also set the font size to 20 pixels, font weight to bold, and text transform to uppercase. So that's it with the button. So if you scroll down, we can see all our buttons have been styled because we have given the same btn class to all these elements. Now for the button in our hero section, we need to have a margin left. So let's target that specific button. So we'll type hero container left button and we'll set a margin left of 20 pixels. Now let's style the social icons. So we'll just target the social icons class. We'll type hero container left social icons and we'll target all the images inside that, and we'll give it a margin of 16 pixels and 20 pixels, and we'll also set the height to 40 pixels. So that's it with our social icons. We'll also set a height to the image on the right. So we will type hero container right img and we'll set the height to 580 pixels. Now let's style the about me and the my work section. Before that, let's go to our HTML and we will add a division to contain all the content except the heading of our section. So this heading will be on the left side. If you go to the original design, this is how the heading will look, and all the other content in our section will be inside another division. So we'll create a division with a class of section content, and we'll wrap everything else inside that division. We'll do the same with the my work section. And we'll just keep the testimonials section as it is, and let's do the same with the contact me section. Alright, now let's go to our style.css and let's style the sections. So we'll type section and we'll give it a padding of 100 pixels top and bottom, 50 pixels left and right. Now we want the section content to have a margin left for the heading to stay here. So let's target the section content and we'll give a margin left of 200 pixels. Now let's style the heading. First of all, we'll rotate it minus 90 degrees. Now we have to position it absolute. So we'll type position absolute. Now let's add some more styles. We'll set the color to CA and font size of 54 pixels, and we'll give a margin top of 80 pixels. Now if you take a look at the paragraph, we can see we have a margin on the top, and if we inspect the paragraph, there's our margin. Now for the first paragraph of our about me section, we need to remove the margin. So let's go over here and we'll type section content, and we'll remove the margin of the first paragraph of all the sections. So we'll type p colon first of type and we'll set a margin of 0. And now we can see we don't have a margin on the first paragraph. Now if you go to the original design, we can see we have this underline for the heading. So we'll do that using a pseudo element called after. So we'll type section h2 colon after, and for the after and before pseudo elements we need to have a property called content. Now if you just type something over here, we can see in our design after our heading we have this content. So right now we don't want any content, we just need an underline. So we'll just remove that and we'll give a height of 10 pixels, width of 80 pixels, display of block, background color of FF4D4D, and right of 0 and position to absolute. So now we can see the underline right here after our heading. We can see the underline over here on the second section as well. Now the last thing we need to do in this video is to style the My Work section. So our heading is already styled. Now we need to style these images over here. We need to display 3 images in a row. For that we'll use CSS grids. So let's go over here and type a comment, and we'll type section work container. That is the name of our outer division, and we'll set the display to grid. Now we can see all the images are one below the other. Now using display grid we can set a template of how our elements should look. So for that you have to type grid template columns, and we'll type 1FR 1FR 1FR, and now we can see 3 elements are displayed in one row. So that's it with the images inside our My Work section. Now the last thing we need to do in the My Work section is that we need to change the color of the text of this button to light gray. So if you go to the HTML, we can see we also have given a class called light to this anchor tag. So let's go to where we have written the styles for our button, and here we'll type button dot light. So if you have an element with a class of button and light, we'll set the color of the text to FD. So now we have the right color for our button. Now the next section we want to style is the testimonial section. So let's go to the original design, and we can see that for the testimonial section we need to have a different background color. So let's go to our HTML, and here we will add some classes. Now since we want to add a different background color to the testimonial section, we need to give it a class. If you don't give a class and just target the section, then all the sections will be selected. So let's give a class to our testimonial section. We'll just give it a class of testimonial section. And there are 2 images right here. One is for the icon and one is for the photo. Now we want to target both of these separately, so we'll also give a class to this icon. We will just give it a class of quote icon, and there are 2 paragraphs over here as well. So for this paragraph we will give a class of testimonial text. So now we are done with the HTML. Now let's go to our style.css, and let's start by creating a comment. First of all, we'll target the testimonial section class, and we'll give a background color of 07050D, and we can see that the background color is being added. Now let's set the color of the text to light gray, and we can see that only this one is being affected. That's because the paragraph already have a style in our CSS. So if you scroll up, we can see for the paragraph we have already given a color. So we need to go over here and type testimonial section P, and then set the color over here. Alright, we'll also set the padding to 0 for top and bottom and 24 pixels for left and right. Now let's set the display of the testimonial section to flex, so that we have these elements one next to the other. And we'll also align everything to the center vertically by typing align item center. Alright, now we'll rotate this image a little and also give it a border radius. So here we will type testimonial section says img, and we'll type border radius of 24 pixels and transform rotate to -4 degrees. Now let's style the heading over here. So here we'll type testimonial section says S3, and we'll give a margin top of 36 pixels, and then we'll give a font size of 24 pixels. We'll also set the margin left to 24 pixels. And for the company name, we have some margin top. So let's target that. We'll type testimonial section says company name, and we will type margin top 0. We also need to change the color of both these text. So here we'll type color, and we'll set the color to FF4D4D, and we'll just copy this same line of code over here. Now let's target this testimonial text. So here we'll type testimonial section, testimonial text, and for the testimonial text we will set a padding left of 100 pixels and a padding right of 48 pixels, and we'll also give it a font size of 20 pixels. Now let's style this icon. So here we'll type testimonial section quote icon, and we'll set the opacity to 0.5, and we'll set the position to absolute, and we'll set the position of the container, that is the testimonial section, to relative. Right now we'll set the top position to 72 pixels and the left to 95 pixels. Alright, we are almost done with the testimonial section. Now we'll just change the padding of the testimonial section. So we will scroll up over here, and here we'll type padding, and for the top we will give a padding of 65 pixels, and for the right 120 pixels. For the bottom we will give a padding of 50 pixels, and for the left we will give a padding of 120 pixels. Alright, so that's basically it for the testimonial section. Now the next thing we need to style is the contact section. So let's go to our CSS and we'll create a new comment. Now let's go to our HTML and see how the markup is laid out. So here we have a division with the class of email, phone, and address, and in those divisions we have a division with the class of contact text. So let's go to our CSS and we'll target all those classes. So we'll type section, email, comma, section, phone, comma, section, address, and for all these classes we will set the display to flex. We will align items to the center, and we'll also give a margin of 16 pixels top and bottom, 24 pixels left and right. So this is how it looks. Now let's target the contact text. So we'll type section, contact text, and we will give a margin left of 40 pixels. So that's it with our contact section. Now lastly, let's style our footer. So we'll go over here and type footer. So for the footer we'll give a background color of 07050D and the color of the text to light gray. We'll also set a padding of 48 pixels and text aligned to the center and font weight to bold. So there's our footer. Now the last thing we need to do in our CSS is that whenever we click on any of these menu items, we need to go to that section. So for example, if you click on about me, then we need to go to this section right here. So let's go to our HTML, and in the href we have just written hash, but now we'll change it to different sections. Now if you wanted to go to a different page, then you can put the link of the page right here, but since our website is a single page website, we want to go to a section that is in the current page itself. So for that we can use IDs. So if you go to about me section over here, and we'll give it an ID of about me. And now if you go over here, and here we will type hash about me, and let's save it, and let's go to our page, and if you click on about me, we can see that we get taken to the about me section. So we will do the same with all our sections. So here we'll type work, here we'll type testimonials, and here we'll type contact, and we'll add these IDs to our sections. So let's go over here to my work section, and we'll type ID work, and for the testimonial section we will give an ID of testimonials, And for the contact section, we'll give an ID of contact. Now let's go to our website and see whether it works. So the about me section works, my work section works, and the testimonials, and we have a little bit of offset over here, so we need to be taken to this position right here. We'll fix that in a little bit. And then we have the contact section, and it also works all right. So let's fix the offset that we have when we click on the testimonials menu item. Now what we'll do over here is that we will remove the ID testimonials from here, and we'll create a division right here, and we'll type div with the class of testimonials, and we'll go to the style.css and we'll add some styles over here. So here we'll type hash testimonials, which is the testimonials ID, and we'll give it a margin bottom of 76 pixels. Now let's check whether it works. So now we can see that the testimonial section has the correct offset. Now we also need to make this logo a link, so that when we click on the logo, we go to the start of our page. So go to the index.html, and here for the logo, we'll create an anchor tag, and we'll type home over here, and we'll close this after the image. And for the header, we'll give an ID of home. So let's check whether it works, and it works all right. Now let's add smooth scrolling to our page. So go to our style.css, and here we will type HTML, and we'll type scroll behavior, and we'll set it to smooth. Now when we click on any of these menu items, we can see that we move to that section smoothly. Alright, that's it with the styling. In the last video, we had completed the design of our single page website, and this is how it looks. So in this video, I'll show you how to add animations to the elements on our hero section. For that, we'll be using a library called AOS. So first of all, let me show you a demo of what we are going to do in this video. Let me just reload this page. And we can see these animations on different elements of our hero section. So this is what we are going to be doing in this video. You can use the same method and do the animations for the other sections as well, but I'm going to show you just the hero section. So first of all, let's go to the AOS library. Just search for AOS animation library on Google, and you'll get the link of the home page. I'll also leave the link in the description below, so just go ahead and click on that. And here's the home page of the AOS animation library. If you scroll down, you can see the different demos that it has. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see two links over here, one to download and one to view on GitHub. So let's go ahead and click on view on GitHub. And here we can see the complete source code. And here are some instructions on how to install it and how to use it. So first of all, let's see how to install it. The first thing you need to do is add this line of code in the head section of our web page, and then add this script in the body just before the body ends. So let's go to our VS Code, and let's add these lines of code. Here is the HTML of our web page. So let's copy this line of code from here, and we'll paste it in the head section right here. And let's copy these lines of code from here, and we'll paste it just before the body ends. So we have added the necessary code for our AOS library to run, and we have even initialized the AOS library over here with this code AOS init. Now to add the animation to the elements, you have to use a data attribute. So let's go to where we want to add our animations. So this is the hero container, and we want to add the animations to these elements over here. So first of all, let me just add the animation to the paragraph. So for the paragraph, we want to have the animation where the paragraph slides down. So here you can type data-AOS, and we'll set that equal to slide down. Now let's go to our web page and see how the animation works. So let's refresh our page, and we can see that the paragraph slides down. Right now the animation is too fast, so we can use another attribute called data AOS duration, and we can set the speed of the animation. So let's go to our HTML, and here we will add one more attribute called data dash AOS dash duration, and we'll set it equal to 2000. Now let's go ahead and refresh our page, and we can see the animation has slowed down. So in this way we can add the animation to all the other elements. So let's go to our HTML, and the next thing we want to animate is the H2. For the H2 we want to add the fade in animation, so we'll just type data dash AOS equals fade in. If you want to get the list of all the animations that are available in the AOS library, you can go to the GitHub page of the AOS library, and you'll get all the animations listed there. And we'll also set the data duration, and we'll set it to 2000 as well. So now let's refresh our page, and we can see both the animations are working. Now we want to have the second animation run a little late after the first animation. So when the paragraph slides down, we want to have the animation of the H2 midway through the animation of the first one. So we can add another attribute called data-AOS-delay. So let's type data-AOS-delay, and we'll set the delay to 1000. Now let's go ahead and refresh the page, and we can see that the animation is working perfectly. So let's go ahead and add the same animation to the next H2. So just copy this from here, and we'll add these attributes over here, and we'll change the delay to 1400. So let's refresh the page, and we can see that all the three animations are working perfectly. The next thing we will animate is this image over here on the right. So let's go to this division called right, and in that we have the image. So we'll give the attributes to the img tag. So we'll type data-AOS, and for the image we want to have the animation fade in from the right, so we'll type fade left. So the image will fade into the left, and for this one we will set a duration of 3000, and we'll also set a delay of 1200. So the image will start animating before the second heading starts animating, but it will have a longer duration than the second heading. So let's go to our website, and let's refresh our page. And the animations are working all right. Now the last things to animate are the buttons and these social media icons. So let's go to our HTML, and here for the anchor tag we will just copy these 3 lines of code from here, and we'll paste it right here, and we'll set the animation to fade, and we'll set the duration to 2000, and the animation delay to 2500. Now we'll just copy these 3 lines of code to the images. Now for the first logo we will set a delay of 2800. For the second one we will set a delay of 2900, and for the third one we will set a delay of 3000. So let's go to our website and refresh our page. And all the animations are working all right. In this video I'll show you how to make this website responsive, which means that even a mobile user of this website should have a great user experience. Now let me show you how this website looks on a mobile device as of now. So let's right click over here and click on inspect, and I'll just click on this button called toggle device toolbar. Here is how this website will look on a Pixel 2 XL device. So here we can see the user has to scroll horizontally to access the menus over here, and if you scroll down we can see that everything is not fitting perfectly over here, so the user has to scroll horizontally. So this is not a good user experience for a mobile user. So in this video we'll make this website responsive, and then even a mobile user can use our website easily. So let's get started. This is the HTML of our website, and we need to make some changes in our HTML as well. So the first thing we need to do is we want to create a new navigation menu for our mobile devices. So when our user is on a mobile device, he should have this logo displayed and a menu button displayed over here, and when the user clicks on that button, we want to display all the menu items. So we have this nav element already over here for the desktop, so we'll go ahead and give this a class of desktop nav, and let's go ahead and create a nav for mobile devices. We'll give it a class of mobile nav. Now let's just copy this logo from here, and we'll paste it right here, and we'll just copy this once more, and here we'll remove the anchor tag, and here we will type menu icon. So these two things will be displayed over here on the top, on the left and on the right. Now we need to create all the menu items for the mobile device. So we'll create a division with a class of mobile menu container, and we'll just copy this UL from here, and we'll paste it right here. So that's it with our HTML. Now let's go to our CSS, and the first thing we'll do is we'll change this nav to desktop nav, because we have already given a class to this navigation over here. So we'll use this class in our CSS. So here we'll select all the nav, and we'll replace it with desktop nav. Now when we are on a desktop mode, we don't want to show our mobile navigation. So we'll go to our CSS, and here we will add some styles. We'll type hidden elements. So first of all, we'll type mobile nav, and we'll type display none. So whenever someone visits your website on a desktop, the mobile nav will not be displayed. And we also want to hide the mobile menu container. So that's pretty much all we need to do for the desktop version. Now to make this website responsive, we need to use media queries in CSS. So let's create a comment, media queries, and to use the media query you can just type @media, and then in parentheses you need to type the max width. So we'll type max width of 600 pixels. Now what this line of code does is that it checks for the width of your browser window, and if it is less than 600 pixels, then whatever style we write over here will be applied to the page. So let's just test it out, and just type star, and we'll type background red, and we can see that everything has a red background. But if you increase the size of your window, and if it is greater than 600 pixels, we can see that it changes to black. So in this way you can create multiple breakpoints over here for tablet version or any other screen size you want. But for this video we'll just stick with the mobile version. Since we know that it is working, let's remove this line of code. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll set the width of the wrapper to auto. So if we scroll up over here, we can see that for the wrapper we had given a width of 1024 pixels. So let's type wrapper, and here we'll type width of auto. The next thing we need to do is we need to hide the desktop navigation. So we'll type header desktop nav, and we'll type display none. The next thing we'll do is display our mobile navigation. So we'll type header mobile nav, and we'll set it to display flex, and set the background to FD. And now we need to display the logo on the left side, and this menu icon on the right side. So we'll type justify content space between, and we'll also give a padding of 16 pixels for top and bottom, 24 pixels for left and right, and we'll set the position to fixed, and we'll also give a width of 100%, and we'll set the z index to 400 so that it will always be on the top, and we'll copy the box shadow that we had given to our desktop nav. So we'll just copy this from here and paste it in our mobile nav. Now we need to change the cursor when we hover over the menu icon. So we'll just target header mobile nav menu button, and we'll type cursor pointer. And now if you hover over this, we should have the pointer icon, but we don't have it right now. So let's go to our HTML, and here we have a class of logo. We should change it to menu button. Now let's set the position of the hero container to relative, and we'll set the position of the image that we have in our hero container to absolute. So here we'll type hero container position relative, and header hero container right, and we'll set the position to absolute, and we'll set the right position to negative 253. Alright, now the image is above our text, so we need to change the z index of these headings. So here we will type header hero container left, and we'll set the z index to 100, and we'll also set the margin left to 40 pixels. Alright, now let's change the font size of our headings. So we'll type header hero container left h2, and we'll set the font size to 48 pixels. Now let's target the images inside the social icons division. So we'll type hero container left social icons img, and we will set a margin of 16 pixels top and bottom, 20 pixels left and right. Now let's target the sections. So we'll create a comment sections, and first of all let's target all the sections, and we'll set a padding of 100 pixels top, 30 pixels right, 0 for bottom, and 30 pixels on the left. And let's also change the margin of the section content. So we'll set the margin left to 0. Now let's style the heading inside the section. So we'll type section h2, and we'll reset our rotation. So we'll type transform rotate 0 degrees, and we'll set a font size of 36 pixels, and we'll set a margin top of 0 pixels and margin bottom of 36 pixels, and display to inline block, and let's also set the position to relative. Now we'll style the underline. So we will type section h2 : after, and we'll set the height to 4 pixels and the width to 60 pixels. So that's it with the about section. Now let's scroll down, and let's target the my works section. So here we'll type my works section. Now we had set the grid template columns to 1fr, 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 so that we can have 3 images in one row. But for the mobile version, we'll just have 1 image per row. So we'll just type section work container, and we will type grid template columns, and we'll type 1fr. Now let's target the images inside the work container. So we'll type section work container img, and we'll set the width to 100% and height of 300 pixels, and object fit to cover, so that it will have the correct proportions. Now I don't want to have this padding over here for the images in a mobile version. So let's copy this padding from here, and for the work section we will have a different padding. So we'll type section with an ID of work. So if you go to the HTML, we can see for the work section we have an ID. So we'll target that over here, and we'll just copy this, and we will remove the left and the right margins. So we'll type 0 over here and 0 over here. Now when we applied this padding to the work section, the padding of our heading and also our button was affected. So we'll go over here and type section #work h2, and we'll give a padding left of 30 pixels, and for the button we will give a margin left of 30 pixels and margin top of 48 pixels. Now I don't want to display these many images in our mobile version, because all the images are one below the other. So it seems like there are so many images. So let's remove some images from the mobile version. So let's go to our HTML file, and here for some of these images we will give some class, and we'll target that class in our CSS, and we will hide those classes. So here we'll give a class of mobile hide, and we'll just copy this to 3 of these images. And let's go to our style.css, and here we will type section work container img with the class of mobile hide, and we'll set it to display none. And now we can see only 3 images are being displayed, and then we have the button. Now let's style the testimonial section. So we'll create a comment. The first thing we'll do over here is set the flex direction to column, so that we have the elements one below the other. So we'll type testimonial section, and here we will type flex direction to column, and we'll set a padding of 50 pixels top and bottom, 30 pixels left and right, and a padding top of 140 pixels. Now let's target the testimonial text division. So we'll type testimonial section, testimonial text, and we'll give a padding left of 0, padding right of 0, and margin bottom of 48 pixels. Now let's rotate our quotes icon a little bit. So we'll type testimonial section and quote icon, and we'll type transform rotate, and we'll rotate it 16 degrees, and we'll also set the top to 48 pixels and the left to 24 pixels. And that's it with the testimonial section. Now let's go ahead and style the contact section. So here we will type section email, section phone, and section address, and we'll set the flex direction to column and also margin of 0. Now let's target the division called contact text. So we'll type section contact text, and we will set a margin left of 0 and margin top of 24 pixels and margin bottom of 36 pixels, and we'll also text align it to the center. So that's all I have for this video. In the next video I'll show you how to make this menu button work, so that when you click on this button we should get our mobile menu items displayed over here on the top, and when you click on it again it should disappear. In our HTML file we have already created a division called mobile menu container, and in that we have the mobile menu items. So let's go to our style.css and let's style it. So here we will type mobile menu items. So we'll target the class mobile menu container, and first of all we will set the display to flex and set the height to 100%, and we'll set align items to the center and justify content to the center. And now if you scroll down we can see that the menu items move up. So we want it to have a fixed position, so we'll type position fixed, and now it stays there. Now let's give it a background color of 07050D, and we'll also set a z index of 300. Now let's give it a width of 100%. Now let's set the left and the top positions to 0, and we'll also set a padding top of 60 pixels because of this menu bar that we have here on the top. Now let's style the unordered list inside the mobile menu container. We will set the list style to none, and we'll also set a padding of 0. Now let's style the list items, and we'll give it a margin of 30 pixels top and bottom and 0 for left and right. And now we'll style the anchor tags. So we'll type mobile menu container ULLIA, and we'll set the text decoration to none to remove the underlines, and we'll set the color of the text to FD, and the font size to 20 pixels. Now this won't be visible initially, so first of all let's set an opacity of 0, and we'll also set the top to minus 400 pixels, and we'll also set the pointer events to none so that no one will be able to click on any of the menu items before it appears. And we'll also give a transition of 400 milliseconds so that the menu items appear smoothly. Now what we'll do is we'll create an active class. So we'll type mobile menu items dot active. Now here you have to keep in mind that you shouldn't have any space in between these two classes, because we are targeting the element which has both these classes at the same time. So if you have the active class along with the mobile menu container, then we'll set the opacity to 1, the pointer events to auto, and the top to 0. So now let's go to our HTML and let's give a class of active to the mobile menu container, and let's see whether it appears. And we can see that the mobile menu items appear, and when we remove the class, we can see that it disappears. And now the last thing we need to do is add and remove the active class whenever we click on this menu button. So for that we'll use JavaScript. So let's create a new file, and we'll name it main.js, and let's link this file to our HTML. So let's go down over here just before the body ends. We'll type script src and we'll type main.js. Now we need to target two things over here. One is this button and one is the menu items. Now for the button we have given a class of menu btn, and for the mobile menu items we have given a class of mobile menu container. So these are the two things we need to target in our JS. So let's go to our main.js file and we'll create a constant, and we'll name it menu btn, and we'll type document.querySelector menu btn, and const mobile menu container equals document.querySelector mobile menu container. Now let's add an event listener to the menu button. So we'll type menu btn.add event listener for the click event, and we'll create a function, and we'll type mobile menu container dot class list dot toggle active. So what this will do is, if you don't have the class active on the mobile menu container, then it will add the class active, and if you have it, then it will remove it. So let's click on the menu button and see whether it works, and we can see that our menu items are being displayed. Let's click on that again and it disappears. Now let's click on one of these menu items. I'll just click on my work, and we can see that it scrolls down to that position, but we also want to remove the active class whenever we click on any of these menu items. So we have to add event listeners to the anchor tags as well. So let's go ahead and target the anchor tags. So we'll type const mobile menu items, and we'll type document.querySelector all, because we have multiple elements, and here we will type mobile menu container ULLIA. So this will target all the anchor tags inside our mobile menu container. Now to add event listeners to all the anchor tags, we will use a for each loop. So we'll type mobile menu items dot for each, and we'll represent each of the menu item with the variable I. So here we'll type I dot add event listener of click, and we'll create a function, and we'll type mobile menu container dot class list dot remove active. So now whenever someone clicks on the menu items, the active class will be removed. So let's test it. Let's click on the menu button, and we can see that the menu items are displayed. Let's click on one of these menu items, and we can see that everything is working all right. In this video, I'll show you how to make this design the home page of your Blogger website. So let's get started. First of all, let's check whether everything is working all right. So we'll click on these navigation buttons, About Me, and it works all right. My Work, Testimonials, Contact, and the logo. Everything is working all right. Now let's click on this Contact button. When we click on this contact button, we should be taken to the contact section. So let's go to the source code and let's go to this button right here. This is the contact button. So in the href you have to type #contact. So now let's click on the contact button and we get taken to the contact section. And then we have some logos over here, and these are basically images. But what we want is when we click on these images, we want to be taken to that particular social media account. So let's go to our source code and we will have an anchor tag wrapping the images. So here let's create an anchor tag, and here you can type any link you want. So I'll just close this right here after the image. We'll do the same with all the images. Alright, now we can see that these are clickable, but we have this small underline over here. I don't know whether you can see it, but let's go to our CSS and remove the underlines from the social icons anchor tags. So here we will type hero container left social icons A, and here we'll type text decoration to none. So now we don't have the underlines, and these are also clickable, and all these sections look alright. Alright, now let's move this design to a Blogger website. So first of all, you need to go to blogger.com, and you need to have a Gmail account to sign into the Blogger website. So just click on sign in and use your Gmail account to log into the Blogger website. So I have logged into my Blogger account. Now you have to create a new blog. So you may have a button to create a new blog over here somewhere, but since I have some blogs already, so I have to click on the name of my blog, and here you have this button called new blog. So just click on that, and then you can choose a title. So let's type my portfolio, and then you can choose a domain name. So let's type my portfolio, and it is not available, so let's add some numbers over here. And this blog address is available. So this is our website, myportfolio2839.blogspot.com, and later if you want to change it to a custom domain, you can do that easily in blogger.com. Now the next thing is to choose a theme, but since we have a custom design, it doesn't matter which theme we choose. So let's click on create blog, and our new blog has been created. Let's click on view blog and see how it looks right now. So this is how our blog looks right now. So whatever you see over here is basically the theme that we selected. So let's go back to our Blogger dashboard, and the first thing you need to do is go to theme and then click on edit HTML. The next thing you need to do is remove everything inside the bee skin. So this is the bee skin. So you have to remove everything after this open square brackets. So just select from here and then scroll down and see where it ends. So this is where the bee skin ends. So select till here and then click on delete. Now the next thing to do is select from the next line over here, the template skin, and select till we find the end of our head tag. So this is the end of the head tag. So select till here and delete it. The next thing to remove is everything inside the body. So select everything inside the body. And delete. Alright, so all the theme is deleted right now. So let's click on save theme. And here we have a message called we did not find any section in your theme. A theme must have at least one B section tag. So let's add a B section tag over here, B:section, and we'll also give it an ID of main, and we just close it over here. Now let's save our theme, and we don't have any error messages. So let's click on view blog, and we can see our website is completely blank. Now we can add any custom design we want over here. So let's add an H1 over here and see how it looks. Let's click on Save Theme, and let's refresh our page, and we can see our H1 is displayed over here. Now it's time for us to add our custom design to our Blogger theme. So remove the H1 and save the theme. Now we'll add our HTML and JavaScript in the layout. So let's go to Layout and click on Add a Gadget, and then select HTML/JavaScript, and here you have to paste your HTML and JavaScript. So let's go to our source code, and this is our HTML. So what we'll do is, to make it easier for us to copy everything, we'll just create a script tag over here and add everything inside our main.js inside the script tag. So let me just add a script tag, and I'll just remove this line of code from here and copy everything inside our main.js file and paste it inside the script tag. So now let's copy everything inside the body, and we'll paste it inside the gadget. So just paste it over here and click on Save. Alright, now let's add our CSS. So just go to style.css and copy everything inside here, and we'll go to Theme and then click on Customize, and then click on Advanced, and add your CSS over here inside Add CSS, and then click on Apply to Blog, and then go back to Blogger. Now let's click on View Blog, and we can see that our design is almost ready, but we don't have any images over here. So we can see that the CSS and everything is working alright, but we don't see any images. That's because in our site we don't have any folder called images. So if we go to the HTML, we can see for the images we have given a source of images/logo.png, but in our Blogger website we don't have any folder called images. So we have to first of all upload all the images to Blogger and then add the links of those images to the images inside our design. So to upload images, we'll just create a page, or you can even create a post. So just click on New Page, and we'll just type images over here, and here you can add all the images by clicking on this button called Insert Image. So just click on Choose Files. So here are all the images inside our website. So we'll just select all of these and click on Open, and the images are being uploaded. Now we have to add each image one by one to our page. So let's start with this first image and click on Add Selected, and just select the original size and click on OK. So our first image has been added, that is the address logo. Now let's go ahead and add all the images in the same way. So just go to From This Blog and you can find all the images. So all our images have been uploaded. Now we have to add the link of these images, that is the source from here, and then copy these to our design. So let's go to our dashboard and we'll click on Layout and then click on Edit. We'll just maximize this. And wherever we have these images, we have to change the source to the source from our uploaded images. So the first one is the logo. So let's go over here and find the logo. So here we can see this is the logo image. So go over here and copy everything inside the source and paste it over here inside the source of the design. So just do the same with all the images inside our design. So this is also the logo. So just paste the same link over here. And then we have the menu button. So just go over here and search for the menu button. So here's the menu icon.png. So copy everything inside the source and paste it over here. So I'll just speed up the process of me pasting all these links in our image sources. Alright, we have updated all the links of our images. Now let's click on save. Now let's click on view blog. And we can see that our website is looking perfect. So we have all the images and everything is working just as we wanted. We can even click on these links and everything is working perfectly. Now the last thing we have over here is that we don't see any animation. So if we refresh our page, we can see that the animation is not working. So if you go to the layout and if you edit, and we can see that we have added everything we had to add, and we have added the link of our AOS library, and we have even initialized it, but it is not working. So let's go ahead and delete this and delete all the references to AOS. So we'll delete all the data AOS attributes. And I don't know why the h2 tag was not closed over here. So let's close it right here. And remove these 3 attributes. And also the 3 attributes from here and here and here. And we also have some animation over here, so let's remove these. And let's click on save and see whether everything is still working alright. Alright, the design is working alright. Now I have written some custom CSS to replicate all the animation that we had using the AOS library. So let me just copy that to our Blogger website. So let's go to theme and go to customize and go to advanced, and after our CSS we will add some more CSS for the animation, and I'll paste the CSS right here, and I'll provide the source code of all this in the description below so that you can just copy and paste this to your Blogger website. And while we are here in the CSS, let's also add the link of our fonts. So let's go to Google Fonts, and the font that we used is Roboto Condensed, and just click on that. And we had used the regular font and the bold 700. Now go to embed and click on import, and just copy this line of code from here and paste it inside the CSS on the first line. Alright, our font has been imported. Now if someone goes to your website and doesn't have this font, then this font will be downloaded on their system. So let's go ahead and click on apply to blog, and then click on back to Blogger. Now let's go to our website and let's refresh our page. And we can see that the animation is working just as we wanted. Let's also check out the mobile version. So this is the mobile version. Let's click on the menu icon and everything is working all right. In this video, I'll show you how to host your website on a service called Netlify. So let's get started. Netlify is basically a hosting service which helps you speed up the process of hosting your website. It makes it so easy that you can just drag and drop your files over here and it will be hosted. So if you go to netlify.com, you can see about the features and more information about this service. And this is the website that we're going to be hosting. We have been designing this website from scratch in this series. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, you can watch it. I will leave the link of the playlist in the description below. And I'll also leave the link of the source code in the description below so that you can just experiment. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to Netlify. And the first thing you need to do is you need to sign up and create an account. So if you go to sign up, and there are several options for you to sign up. You can use GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or even your email ID. So after you have signed up, you just go to login and then log into your account. I have logged in and this is the area where you can see all your sites. So right now we don't have any site. And then you have these different tabs over here, but we're going to stay on sites. If you have your website on GitHub, you can just click on new site from GitHub and then just add the repository over here and the website will be up. But we are just going to drag and drop our files over here. So let's go to our source code. So this is the complete code of our website. So let's select these files and then just drag and drop it over here. So it says make sure you drop a folder with an index.html file. So I think we need to create a parent folder. So let's create a new folder and name it my portfolio. And we'll just copy these files and folders over here. And now we'll just drag this folder in our Netlify account. And you can see how fast and easy it is to host your website on Netlify. So you have this random URL over here, and if I click on that and click on open in new tab, we can see our website has been hosted and everything is working all right. So let's go back over here and let's change the domain settings. So just click over here on domain settings. And here you can even choose a custom domain if you want, but let's just stick with the subdomain and we'll just edit site name. And we can name our site anything we want over here. So I'll just type my portfolio. I don't know whether the name is available, so let's click on save. And it is already taken. So I'll just type 123. And we can see our URL has changed. So let's open this. And that's how easy it is to host your website on Netlify. And you can even see this lock icon over here. That means this website is secured. So you have SSL certificate also added to your website by default. So I hope you have understood how to host your website on Netlify. And there are also many other features in this service, like you can even have form submissions on your website. So you can have contact form or any other form you want, and the data will be displayed over here. And now if you ever want to update your website or make some changes, you can just go to deploys and you can just drag your updated files over here and it will be updated instantly. In this video, I'll show you how to make this design the homepage of your WordPress website. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is install WordPress locally on your system so that you can test whether everything is working all right. And once you make sure that everything is working all right, you can go ahead and add the design to your main website. So for that, you have this software called Local by Flywheel. So just go to localwp.com and you can download this for free. So just go ahead and click on free download and install the software. Now what you can do with local is that you can install WordPress locally It makes it easy even for a beginner to install WordPress locally. So I have already installed local, so let me just open it. This is how the interface looks. Here are all the local sites that I have already created. Now to create a new site, you have to click on this plus icon over here. And the first thing is to name your site. So we'll just type my portfolio. Then click on continue. And we'll leave the environment as preferred and just click on continue. And just set your username and password. And then click on add site. Alright, our local site has been created. Now let's click on admin and log into our dashboard. Just type your username and password over here and click on login. Alright, this is the dashboard of our website. Now let's go ahead and click on view site. And this is how it looks right now. So if you go over here and click on appearance and themes, you can find all the themes that are currently installed on our WordPress. Now what we need to do is we need to create a new theme with our current design and then add it to our WordPress website and then activate that theme. So let's go to our local and let's right click over here and click on show folder. And let's go to the folder and then into app, public, WP content, themes. So these are all the themes that you see over here, 2020, 2019 and 2017. So we need to create a new folder and we'll name it my portfolio. Now for a theme in WordPress, you need to have at least two things, a style.css file and an index.php file. So let's open this with VS Code and let's add those two files. So we'll click on new file and we'll create a new file called index.php and then one more file called style.css. Now let's go to our final code. So this is our final code. So let's copy our images folder and paste it over here. Now let's copy everything inside our index.html file to our index.php file. So just copy everything and we'll paste everything over here. And we'll do the same with our style.css file. So just copy everything and paste it over here inside style.css in our theme. So we have added our styles and even the markup. So now let's go to our dashboard and see how our theme looks right now. Let's reload this page and we can see a theme called my portfolio. So let's go ahead and activate it. Now let's refresh our page and this is how our theme looks right now. So we had two problems over here. One is that our styles are not being applied and we also don't have the images being displayed. So let's solve those two problems. First of all, let's go to our VS Code and to display all the images, you have to set the src of the images relative to the theme directory. So you have to add some PHP code over here, and inside src here we will add some PHP code. To add a PHP code, you have to type less than question mark PHP and end it with question mark greater than. And we'll also have a / over here. Alright, in the PHP you have to type echo get underscore template underscore directory underscore URI and then parenthesis and semicolon. Now if we scroll down, we can see that every single image sources have been changed. So let's save it, check whether everything has been changed. So image source has been changed over here, and these image sources haven't changed because we had this class in between. So let's just copy this from here and paste it over here and here and here. Now let's scroll down and we have to add the source over here as well in our quote icon, and everything else is alright. So let's save this and let's go to our website and let's refresh our page. And now we can see all the images are being displayed. Now the next thing we'll do is apply the styles to our page. So if you go to our index.php file, we can see that we have already added the link of our style.css file over here. But in WordPress, you cannot simply add the styles by writing this link tag over here. You have to add these styles using a file called functions.php. So let's create a new file and we'll name it functions.php. And you have to add an action, and in this way you can add styles to your WordPress website. Let's just remove this AOS link from here because we don't need it. Alright, in our functions.php file, let's open with PHP tag. And we'll create a function and we'll name it add styles. And here you have to type wp underscore unq underscore style, and in parentheses you have to type a name over here, so we'll just type style, and then you have to type get underscore style sheet underscore URI parentheses. Now you have to add this function to an action, so we'll type add underscore action, and in that you have to type wp underscore nq underscore scripts, and then the name of our function, so we'll type add styles. Now this will enqueue our styles to the website. The next thing you need to do is go to the index.php file, and here you have to add a line of PHP code, so we'll just type PHP, and here you have to type wp underscore head and parentheses, and we can just remove this line of code from here, and for the title we will just type my portfolio. Alright, now let's go ahead and refresh our page. And we can see our website is working perfectly, so all our menu items are working and everything is working alright. Alright, that's basically how you add a custom design to your single page WordPress website. Now to add this theme to your real website, you have to go to your theme and just select everything and make a zip file. So just click on compressed zipped folder and just name this anything you want. And if you want, you can also add the name of your theme over here in the styles.css file. So if you go over here and here if you add a comment, it will be displayed on your themes list. So if you type theme name and we'll just type my portfolio theme, and we'll just save this. And now let's go to our dashboard and let's refresh our page, and we can see that it says my portfolio theme. And you can add a lot of details over here like the URL, the author name, and the screenshot and all those things. You can search that on Google and you can find all the details. Alright, once you created your zip file, you have to go to your original WordPress website, and under appearance themes, just click on add new and then click on upload theme, and then choose file and add your zip file and click on install now. And in this way, this theme can be installed on any WordPress website you want. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below, and click on the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.